Four friends Katie, Alex, Ben and Wendy decide to spend a weekend in the country. They hear the legend of the abandoned railroad, where the train with passengers disappeared 50 years ago. The train, as the locals say, entered the tunnel but never exited. No one knows what happened, and the tunnel has been abandoned ever since. Friends, thrill seekers, they decide to go there at night to check if this place is really that creepy. They take flashlights and cameras and hit the road. The forest around the railway seems gloomy. The trees seem to hang over them. Soon they find old rails overgrown with grass and walk along them until they reach the tunnel. The tunnel looks ominous. Its entrance has collapsed, but there is darkness inside, as if it goes somewhere deeper. The friends decide to go inside, turning on the lanterns. They notice that the walls of the tunnel are covered with strange symbols, similar to ancient writings. Wendy takes pictures of them, and Alex jokes that they are ghost marks. But the jokes quickly come to an end when they hear a strange sound like a distant rumble, similar to the noise of a train. Katie offers to go back, but Ben, the bravest of them all, insists on moving on. The deeper they go, the stronger the hum becomes. Suddenly, the lights start flashing and the temperature drops sharply. Wendy notices that her camera has stopped working and there is static on her phone screen. Suddenly, they hear footsteps behind them. Turning around, they see a figure in an old-fashioned guide uniform. His face is hidden in shadow, but he points his hand deeper into the tunnel. The friends, overcome with fear, decide to flee, but discover that the entrance to the tunnel has disappeared. Now they're locked inside. The hum is getting louder, and the friends realize that it is the sound of an approaching train. But how is this possible if the rails have been abandoned for a long time? Suddenly, headlights appear out of the darkness, and an antique train pulls out right at them. The friends cling to the walls in panic, but the train passes through them as if it were a ghost. They see that the carriages are filled with people, but the faces of the passengers are distorted with horror. Some of them are knocking on the windows as if asking for help. In the last carriage, the friends notice the figure of a woman looking directly at them. Her face looks familiar, but they can't remember where they saw her. When the train disappears into the darkness, the friends remain in complete silence. But now, they realize that the tunnel has changed. The walls are covered with fresh claw marks, and the air is saturated with the smell of burning. Wendy remembers reading about the missing train. Among the passengers was a woman who tried to stop the train before it disappeared. She was considered crazy because she claimed that the train would take everyone to another world. Her friends realized that they saw her in the last carriage. They decide to move on, hoping to find a way out. Soon they come across an old sign that says, "Careful, entry is prohibited, danger to life." But the plaque looks new, as if it had just been installed. Alex notices that the rails ahead are covered in blood and suggests stopping, but Ben stubbornly goes on. Suddenly, they hear a woman's voice calling their names. It's the voice of the passenger. She says they have to stop the train, otherwise they will stay here forever. But she doesn't explain how to do it. The friends reach the end of the tunnel and see a huge gate, behind which they can hear the rumble of a train. Suddenly, the gates start to open and the train reappears. This time, he's heading straight for them. Katie screams that she has to run, but Wendy notices a lever on the wall that says emergency braking. Ben rushes to the lever and pulls it. The train stops abruptly, and passengers begin to get off it. But these are not people. Their bodies are distorted, and their eyes are empty. They slowly walk towards their friends, holding out their hands. The friends realize that these are the souls of those who were on the train, and now they want to take them with them. At the last moment, the friends find a side passage and run down it. But something is wrong. Everything looks different around. Houses are destroyed, trees are dried up, and the sky is covered with red mist. They realize that the tunnel has taken them to another world, the one where the train disappeared. In the distance, they hear a rumble, and the train reappears on the horizon. Now he's heading straight for them, and they realize there's no way out anymore. A few days later, locals find the friends' belongings at the entrance to the tunnel, but no one sees them anymore. The legend of the missing train is being updated with new names, and the tunnel continues to wait for its new victims.